Alright, welcome back.
Welcome back.
We're Kingdom Hearting's the shit out of this world right now.
Yeah.
We could be dream drop distancing like a motherfucker, and you would have no idea.
Yeah, we would be MLG Pro, as they say.
Oh, man. So. I'm trying to think of how to put it.
How to approach this.
How to approach it. So Assassination's Classroom just ended, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I, semi-missed the finale, so I gotta rewatch it. Because I only got to catch, half of it, because I got home late. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm just like... What a weird anime. There's so many twists and turns, and some of them feel incredibly unwarranted, and at the same time, you're just kind of shrug, and you're like, it's still interesting, so... It's like...
That was something, right?
That was something. There's a lot of things, so... for those who haven't seen it, I'm probably gonna spoil a couple things, but also, the show came out in, 2016... So you've had 6 years. So if you wanted to see it, you probably would have by now. And the main takeaway though that I like is there's the girl with the green hair in the show.
Yep.
I'm watching this fucking anime, and the whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, I feel like she's supposed to be a main character, but she's not doing anything to warrant being a main character. She's in, all the openings and the endings, and she seems to have a pivotal role in the openings, which implies that she's important, but also, she hasn't done anything important to warrant this, and I don't understand. And then all of a sudden, they have a big reveal where she fucking planted herself there specifically to kill the fucking teacher. And she also has tentacle powers, which she stole to use to kill him. And this has all been a ruse. And, and I'm just like, alright, you got me.
I wasn't expecting that. You got me.
Well played. I'm like, this explains a lot more why she seems so important in these openings and didn't do anything. But also, boy, did this just kind of come out of nowhere. She even, goes into her plan where she's just, she talks about how she purposely put more emphasis on other characters around her so that she wouldn't be the main character to give her better element of surprise for killing him, and I'm just like, go fuck.
That is silly, and I love it.
And then they save her by making out.
Oh no.
Oh man, that was the most well, alright.
Welcome to anime?
The actual main character of the show just had a hardcore stick his tongue in her mouth, and that got her to stop, and that's how they stopped her.
So... yeah, no, that is anime in a nutshell.
Yep.
We've been watching some anime recently, and I'm like, yep, and that is how it is.
Yep. It's freaking,
And it's just funny to me.
The only good thing was I do argue that the best entire fight, even though it was absolutely 100% fucking pointless, was Karma and the main character, whose name I'm already forgetting, but the blue kid. The
blue kid who looks like a girl?
Blue kid, looks like a girl. That's constantly made fun of for looking like a girl, and then forced into situations that I would deem as not okay.
It's as they say in the business, no bueno.
No bueno. It's all well and good when they're, into it. It's another thing when it's forced. It becomes a level of I don't know about this, bro. This falls into my not cool category very quickly.
So we've been watching Komi Can't Communicate.
Yep.
Which, I don't know if you've ever heard or seen anything on that anime or manga.
I've seen, clips.
It's very silly, but I also love, there's one character who is everybody's childhood friend.
Yeah, of course.
But it's funny because it's just and there's two girls in this character. And, like, anytime it talks about gender, it's just like, there's two girls, and then there's this one. Because it's just like, what is this one? Who knows? They don't even know themselves.
Beautiful. Yeah, the only things I've seen from it is, like, a few of the clips, although one of them I do really like.
It's hysterical.
And he's, like, running a race or something, and he looks over to her, and she just holds up a sign that's like, you can do it. And
he just says it in the quietest voice.
He just fucking mad dashes like a motherfucker.
Says it in the quietest voice, and he goes, like, fucking Super Saiyan.
Which is super funny, and reminded me of the fucking, the meme from fucking, One Punch. I don't know if you've seen it. I think I've sent it to you, actually, but there's a meme that went around for One Punch that's like, Jigen, if you win this fight, you can sit on my face, and he just BOOM!
Seen that one?
Fucking love that one. That's the best thing I've ever seen. Oh man, but yeah, what a weird show. And then, like, spoilers for the next 10 seconds. The biggest plot twist is that the teacher guy is actually the most notorious assassin in the world.
Yeah.
And I was just like, alright, I guess.
Kind of expected that one.
I mean, I didn't expect it, but also I was like, this dude could have been literally fucking anyone.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't really matter that he's an assassin at all. I guess the only point is that, like, he's literally his last ditch effort as an assassin before he dies is to train an entire horde of more assassins.
Well, yeah.
But then he, like, didn't want them to be assassins in the first place, which makes me feel like his entire lessons were counterproductive. But
yeah.
So, whatever. It's just the biggest level of, like, fuck it.
I don't know, man. He just did his thing.
They find out the other notorious assassin was his first student, who's just insane and wants to murder him for attention.
Insane in the membrane.
Insane in the membrane! Anyways,
yes. So I started blasting.
Yeah. And now that show's over, though. And I don't know what the fuck Toonami's gonna replace it with, because their roster is already absurdly low.
Oh, yeah.
They have Primal, which they've already aired, and they're just re-airing Primal again. Which, I mean, Primal is great and all, but, like, they already aired it, so whatever. I don't count that as a new show. They just lost Assassination Classroom, so
yeah,
there is that show. And that essentially means they're playing Lupin the Third, which is great.
It's a good show, yeah.
Yeah. And then 1 hour of One Piece, and then Naruto. And I'm just like, alright, we got like a whole hour on Toonami right now that's essentially just filler, like, for new shit.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Like, what the fuck?
They didn't make me run through the weird, creepy, thing? Okay. Yeah. Oh, I'm glad to know that I ran back when there was a save point right here.
Nice. Tends to be how it is.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so I don't know, I'm kind of hoping we get JoJo back.
JoJo!
But I don't think it's
in the cards.
Yeah, I don't think they've dubbed enough of it yet. I think they're still, like, in the midst of dubbing Season 5. Or Season... hold on. 1, 3... and then 4, 5... yeah, okay, there's Season 6, actually. 5 is five is the one about fucking Dio's kid. Which always screws up my JoJo count, because I'm just like, yeah, every season's based off of one of the main JoJo characters, you know, from his family. All 5 of them. Oh shit, wait a minute. There was the one about Dio's kid.
Well, Dio's kid, after he had taken over the JoJo's body. Because logic.
Well, no, Dio took over the original Joseph Joestar's body.
Yes.
And then he proceeded to bang the shit out of some bitch in Italy, which then gave birth to Gino Giovanni.
Which is a JoJo.
He's not a JoJo, but his name
Jo
just happens to sound similar to JoJo, because he's Gino Giovanni. There's no J in there, they're both G's, but they sound like JoJo when you put them together and shorten it.
Because anime logic.
No, I think what's funnier is, like, we get one more series in the mainline family, and then we go to a complete alternate universe that has nothing to do with anything.
What I love is, there was an interview with the guy who writes it, and he's just like, I just like it better because, you know, I can write whatever I want to, and I don't have to keep track of a continuum.
Yep, exactly.
If I do it like that.
Yep.
I'm like, you know, he's not wrong.
He's not. He's totally on point.
You know, if you do alternate reality bullshit.
Alternate reality. Honestly, I think he's just running out of names that sound like JoJo when they're put together.
I think you're right.
Like, Joestar is easy, but it's really hard to think of Joe names. Eventually he's gonna have to drop down to John Joestar, you know what I mean? Actually, I think that does I think that's the alternate universe one, I think is Johnny Joestar.
Johnny Joestar! Because there's more JoJos in the comics than he has than have been made onto the show. I know there's one where he's a fucking cowboy.
Yeah, that's the alternate universe one.
Which is my favorite because of how dumb that is.
That'll be season 6. I don't think they did more than 6. He might have done a 7.
I think he has 7.
Yeah. That'll be a thing.
Interesting.
Yeah, that'll be a thing. All I know about season 6 is that it's literally comprised of mostly females, and then one dude who's just like, I'm interested in you, and she's just like, sorry, I only fuck other women. And that's the entire dynamic between the two of them.
What I love is, there was an interview with the guy who wrote JoJo,
yeah,
and he's just like, they were like, is blah 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 blah, is JoJo about drawing pretty men and women? And he's just like, yeah, it's about drawing both pretty men and women, but it's mostly about drawing pretty men.
Yep.
And I'm like, if this man doesn't know what he's on about, then nobody does.
There was a guy who I think put it really well on YouTube, where he was just like, JoJo is a show that's so gay it transcends gay and becomes the most masculine show in the universe.
He's not
and
wrong.
I'm just like, yeah, that sounds about right. Like, it really is a show that's so fucking gay, it transcends gayness and wraps back around to being the most masculine show in the universe.
JoJo!
I mean, the show is comprised of extremely muscular and pretty men posing for hours. When you really break it down, that's all the show really is.
All you need the show to be, Chris. That's the real thing.
I think, no, you know, honestly, the thing that makes JoJo unique, and I think why it sticks around as so likable, is that, like, unlike most shonen animes are, like, you know, train to get strong, beat stronger person, new strong person shows up, train for longer, then beat strong person for... JoJo is literally, alright, these are their powers, this is what they can fucking do with them, figure it out. Like, they just give them harder bosses to fight, and then they just have to figure out that boss harder. Basically, JoJo is a puzzle anime.
You know, I can't argue with you.
Like, JoJo is literally has more in common with, like, that anime about Go or fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Than it has to do with fucking Shoto anime.
You know?
Like, it's more about, like, it's literally more about outsmarting your opponent than it is about beating them with your power.
That show goes.
Yeah. That and Deus Machina when you run out of ideas.
Well, yeah, you have to.
I can also stop time for my Joestar Joe stand has been based off of your stolen Joestar Joe stand, Jono.
Jojo.
It's not a Deus Machina if no one gives a shit.
Yeah, I can win if you can win. What?
There's like a joke that the writer of the show forgets. Like the powers that he gives his characters. And I disagree. I don't think he forgets. I think it's way more likely that he just doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, that's honestly what I think.
Like, it's not so much that he forgets they have powers, as much as he just, like, decides to solve those solutions in different ways than people expect.
Yeah. That's honestly what I think it is.
Yep. Now ride this boulder across that tightrope. Why else would they give you the boulder? This is horseshit. Yeah, this is
upsetting.
Horseshit.
I am the JoJo of the JoJos.
I am Juno Giovanni, but everyone calls me
JoJo.
I don't know where the fuck that song came from, but there's something just so funny about
I love
it to
that.
me.
I am Jovino Joestar, but everyone just calls me JoJo.
It's the, like, really not that intense, very chill, like, synth wave fucking track that kicks in right after he says it that really, like, gets
But everyone just calls me JoJo.
It's... Oh, man. We need more... Everyone needs more Joestar in their lives. There's, like, a whole thing that's, like, there's a whole thing that's, like, JoJo fans are annoying because they always tell people to watch their show, and I'm like, well, that's because you're stupid and not watching the show. They wouldn't tell you to watch it if you just watched it already.
This is a true fact. You can hear more about it on our True Fact podcast.
Yep, True Fact Pro. If we do a podcast, that's what we should name it. True Fact Podcast.
So, I've been literally making this joke to my fiance, like, every time she says something, and I'm like, that's a true fact. I mean, God. You can hear more about it on my True Fact podcast. And she's like, it's gotten to the point where she thinks it's a dumb joke, but she's waiting for me to say it.
Yep. Rightfully so.
Oh no.
I think we're not supposed to go that way yet.
No. But, I can cheese this game, so it's all good.
Absolutely. Yo, this fucking Beethoven's the Fifth. I don't know who wrote this.
Some dude.
No, it's the Nutcracker, that's what it is. Which I'm pretty sure isn't copyright claimed, because it's from the 1800s, but YouTube doesn't seem to give a shit about logic, so...
I was telling Stephanie about how what is it called? Common domain?
Yeah, yes, domain,
yeah.
common...
yeah, you know what I mean.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
But
I also can't think of the fucking name.
But, the thing that, I am terrible right now. That, what's his name?
Copyright, whatever it is. Mickey Mouse?
Yeah, Mickey Mouse and Sherlock Holmes were just him.
Yes.
And I was telling Stephanie about that, and she was just like, what?
Public domain.
Public domain, thank you.
There you go.
We got
I knew it would come to me
got
eventually. Mickey Mouse just officially... Well,
no.
Steamboat Willie just went into the public domain.
But not Mickey Mouse.
But not Mickey Mouse.
So you can do Steamboat Willie stuff, but you can't do Mickey Mouse.
Yes. I'm not exactly sure how that works, because I think you can use Steamboat Willie's version of Mickey Mouse.
But you
not
can't
like
use Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse, yeah.
Because logic.
Yes. Copyright is extremely convoluted.
Yes.
And confusing, so I'd like to tell you a nice, simple way that this works, but the reason I can't is because it isn't simple.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's just fucking
I'm gonna drop!
bullshit.
Oh god, I dropped.
Oh god, he dropped. Dude, imagine if you had a time limit to do things, and then the minute that time limit ran out, you just fell into a coma until someone else falls into their coma.
Is that what's going on here?
I mean, that's what it looks like.
Okay, I dropped.
Now we get to remember what Sora was doing, because
I don't remember.
I fucking don't.
Right. That's what we're doing.
We
We were trying to become a musketeer.
Oh, that's right. We were 3 musketeering it. Like the candy bar. It's so light and fluffy it floats into the sky, never to be eaten. It's amazing it sells so well. Do you remember those commercials? where they were trying to argue that Three Musketeer bars were good for you because, like, they had the lowest calories of any other candy bar, and they were so light and airy, and they would do, like, this commercial where they'd, like, pull them out of the bag, and they would float into the air, and then they'd be like, oh no, my Three Musketeers, and they'd, like, reach for them, and then they'd, like, delicious with so few calories, and I'm just like, this is a fucking candy bar! I just don't eat fucking candy!
It's so fluffy and wonderful.
I eat the fuck. And also, just like the commercials were always so fucking like stupid to me because I'm just like, but they did make me think like, man, imagine if their candy bar literally was lighter than air and like floated away. How hard it would be to sell that product to people.
Where did your candy bar go? Oh, it floated away.
It floated away. It's in space now. With all its delicious white light chocolate.
That'd be some weird ass chocolate.
I want to bring it. Three Musketeers, hit me up. I want to bring back that idea for your commercials. But with the gag being that, like, it's just incredibly hard to get a hold of. That's the gag. I want to redo it and make that the gag.
Yes.
Like, the joke is that everyone who buys the candy bar would never get to eat it. It would always float away to someone higher who then caught it and then would eat it.
Are we crazy? Yes.
And the fucking ultimatum of my joke would be that eventually it would leave Earth's atmosphere and
aliens would get it?
and a space marine would get it and he would like have to contemplate eating it and dying. And it would be like, and he would just be like, fuck it, and he'd open up it, and then we'd cut away before it showed him die. But you'd hear it off screen, him just like the sound of human bones being sucked through a convection vent.
I love it, this is so dope.
And then it would just be like, Three Musketeers, irresistible. Hit me up, I got great ideas for commercials.
Oh, I love it, this is so dumb.
I have great ideas for commercials, fucking. I still wish I did the one for Corona, the beer, when the coronavirus at full swing. I always wanted to do a commercial where it was just like, it was just a wide open shot of a desert with nothing in it, and as it panned over, you'd see a fucking Corona sitting on the desk, or a small table, and a lounge
hard
chair.
Seltzer, sorry.
Yeah. And on
Sponsored,
a
not
chair.
sponsored.
Yeah, exactly. It would just be like the guy next to it sitting on a lounge chair with an umbrella above him, and he'd just reach over, grab it, take a drink, put it back down, and go, ah, and then it would just fucking go across the screen. There's nothing out here but Corona. It's a great. I think honestly, I wouldn't even be upset if they stole that. I'd be just happy to see it.
Yes.
And then I'd sue them for royalties.
What do you mean you stole my idea?
I'm gonna start doing that. I'm gonna start getting the phone numbers for these places and just start calling up random companies and pitching them fucking commercial ideas. And see if I can start a new career as a commercial fucking creator. My true passion.
Well, let's be honest, Chris. Between me and you, we would make bank.
Yeah, probably. And then I started my new career in the entertainment industry. See, this is something that I don't get. Whenever people on YouTube become popular, they always try and become like shitty rappers or shitty actors. Like, why wouldn't you use your talent of creativity to, like, make commercials or fucking, like, do a sketch comedy show or some shit?
Some people have done that.
Some people have, but not a lot of them. It's, like, a surprisingly... Because, like, most of the people that do, like, sketch... Because there's, like, a few that went into sketch comedy. But, like, most of them already had a sketch comedy YouTube channel.
True.
So it was just, like... But,
no, there's so many elephants.
Elefante. Unfortunately... we're gonna have to pick this up in the next part. We're gonna have to murder all these elephants then. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.